All right, you guys, Dana Cortez here with Kendrick Lamar. I'm excited about this interview. I've been up since 3:52. And I came up here for this interview for Kendrick. So you're here in the city, you're in New Mexico. This is going to air in a couple of different markets, though.
Right.
So, you know, this is going to air in a couple other radio stations we have here. So I want to ask you, first of all, how do you feel traveling and getting all this love, you know, selling out these venues? How does that make you feel in such a short period of time that you stepped on the scene?
Yeah, it feels great. Well, I actually been selling out shows for a while. Before my debut album, I had 4 mixtapes out, which got me to this point to where, you know, the whole world.
Digital release first and everything?
Yeah, digital release on the streets, independently, Top Dog Entertainment. And we were selling out shows then. So it's just on a broader scale now, and just let me know what I've been doing, you know, it's even more accomplished.
What about the fans? Like, they come up and talk to you and they know all about your life and they know where you come from, they know about Black Hippie, they know everything.
Right.
Is that surprising? Do you like it? Is it flattering, or does it kind of...
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, we put it out there. That's how we make our, you know, connection, you know, with these kids out there. Let them know, you know, we come from the same soil y'all come from. That's why y'all can relate to our music a little bit better.
So I talked to Game last week, and right away, you know, I asked him about, you know, the West Coast, West Coast hip hop, and he said he was so proud of you. He talked about you and a couple other cats here on the West Coast, but he said what he thought was so exciting about Kendrick Lamar is that you're not in a gang. You don't come from that world, and you represent something differently. How do you think you were able to do that? Not, you know, with the whole hip hop in the West Coast. You know, Game was like, you know, it's just so associated with that, and to have Kendrick be so different and just be blowing up is so refreshing.
I think just leadership. You know, me want to be a leader. I ain't want to follow in nobody else's shoes or footsteps. Ever since day one, you know, true OGs always told me, be yourself at the end of the day. You don't want to do what we do and keep continuing the cycle, because that ain't going to make you stand out. That's going to put you in the same predicament we in. So at the end of the day, it was just about me being myself, you know, and being a leader. And, you know, and that's what's happening now, and people recognizing that. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so when you were growing up, who were you listening to? Who did you have in your CD player?
Who I was listening to? Everybody from the West Coast, really.
Is that been your main influence, West Coast hip-hop?
West Coast hip-hop. I just started getting to other different spots and cities until I turned like a teenage years.
Really? Then you started turning on?
Yeah, then I started listening to Jay-Z.
What's your biggest influence?
Tupac.
Jay-Z, you said Jay-Z right away. Everybody said Jay-Z.
No, Tupac.
Tupac, though, was your biggest influence.
Like,
that's who you grew up listening to.
Yeah, we grew up listening to Pac.
What was your favorite Pac song?
Favorite Pac song right now, 21 Gun Salute or Dear Mama right now. It changed throughout the week, though. You got too many songs.
All right, so what about you? You got this, you know, new project out.
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah. And you're out there. You said you've been selling out shows. Now it's at a grander scale.
Yeah.
What do you want people to get from this album? I mean, right away, you know, all the critics, it's classic, it's this, it's that.
Yeah.
And I got to ask about Lady Gaga here in a little bit. I don't want to forget about that. Okay, don't let me forget about that.
Right.
So what do you want people to take away from your project?
Probably just, you know, a sense of knowing that this particular sound of the hip-hop culture would always live. You know, I want to bring back that era, continue that era where, you know, you actually had dope beats and dope raps, and you actually had a body of work rather than just, you know, a rap artist chasing, you know, a bunch of singles, and then it really,
ringtone.
Right, and it really dilutes the effort of making a body of work.
Do you feel like that movement is really growing, though? Do you feel like there's a certain... You know, I talked about Black Hippie, I talked about you and your crew, you know, Schoolboy Q, and I talked, you know, I think about A$AP Rocky, I think about even Drake. Of course, he's, you know, do you feel like there's that movement with this new group, the leaders of the new school, you know? I mean, how do you feel about being a part of that?
It's a great feeling, because when you think about it, we're in that era where, you know, our parents, our moms and stuff, they was playing, you know, the dope stuff, Tupac, you know, and Jay-Z and Nas. And
then it got kind of hair bandaged there for a little bit. You know what I mean? That era where hip-hop got kind of...
Right.
And now it seems to be going back to the roots.
Yeah, so we used to listen to that coming up. So by the time we started doing our own music, we influenced by that. You know, so our style trickled down to these kids that's 9 and 12 years old to, you know, continue that effort of making great bodies of work.
I just love all the fan base, too. I see all the kids come in here and they're they're so passionate about it.
Yeah, they say.
I had somebody cry when she won. I was like, really?
Yeah.
You're gonna cry? I said, okay, girl, it's all good. You know, she didn't even get to meet you, and she was crying to go to the show.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's incredible. So Lady Gaga, I had to mention it. She's the most powerful social networker according to Forbes magazine. Oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, yeah, she's the number one. Like, she
huge.
tweets something, and you know, but you're sitting here talking to her.
Yeah.
You're tweeting. She's tweeting you out. She's putting you out. She was so excited to work with you. Why is the song not in the?
It was deadline. You know, the business come into play when you sign to a major label, and you know you have different people to work it and stuff like that. So you gotta get the business right, but that don't stop us, you know, from being friends or continue working. You know,
You think you'll do future projects with her?
Yeah, I mean music. I don't know a project yet.
Yeah, but music. Okay.
Yeah.
So speaking of Lady Gaga, somebody like that, you know, I'm sure you hear because you are from the real hip hop culture. How do you keep it real? What does that mean?
Keep it real.
Because when you work with Lady Gaga or Justin Bieber or something, you hear all these people like, well, that's not real hip hop. Isn't it real hip hop still?
Right. I don't even like using that word anymore, the real, because it's so many people have so many different perceptions of the word. Real to me is really doing what's true to you. You know, what's true to you. I think I can do a record with anybody. You know.
That's not going to change who.
It's not going to change who I am or you know, stray my fans away from it, because it's going to always be me on the record, not trying to do what the artist that I'm, you know, collaborating with is doing, you know.
So you've worked with some of the biggest names in the business, from, you know, unsigned to signed, like Tech Nine.
Yeah.
Who, by the way, we've supported on the radio for years here. We played Tech Nine.
He's a great dude.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Who, obviously working with Dr. Dre, what is that like? I have to ask. I've never met Dr. Dre, and I've always wanted to meet him.
It's a great time, man. It's a great effort. You got to put in that studio to work with him.
Does he make you work? Does he?
Yeah. I'm used to it though.
Does he make you wear Beats by Dre?
I'm hard. I don't mind wearing Beats by Dre as much money he getting off them.
Right, 110 million. Did you see he was the #1 earner of 2012?
I need me at least 5%.
I saw 50 Cent put out the Street King headphones. I got a pair too. I'm like, I might as well contribute. Okay, so Dr. Dre makes you work in that studio.
Yeah.
I've heard that from a lot of people, that when you're in there, it's business.
Yeah, you got to bring your A game, and you know those who don't bring the A game, you know, fall victim.
Who else is another producer that makes you work like that you really enjoy getting in the studio with?
That makes me work. Probably my in-house producers. You know, I got a team around me that's really not no yes man. You know, that's why we put out the best product. You know, these cats that I work with, Soundwave, Tay Beats, Willie B, they all from the West Coast, and we get in that studio. You know, we vibe in like a family. It's not just Kendrick Lamar picking your tracks. You know, it's a team. It's Top Dog Entertainment working together to make the best music possible.
Okay, so talked about you're talking about your in-house producers. What about Black Hippie? Why did that project not drop?
Black Hippie.
Why did you guys not? When is that coming?
Yeah, we really wanted to focus in on my debut, you know, because we knew what it was going to do, and you know, the accolades going to come behind it. So it's just more attention now, you know, not only on myself but the crew, just because of what the numbers did, and you know, the critically
acclaimed. There's no like, you don't think there'll ever be any beef between you guys? You know, the Diana Ross kind of syndrome, you know, anything? Because I mean, you are out there front right now. I got to ask, you know, do you feel that, or is it still just a tight knit crew? It's all good. This is the way. This is the plan. This is the way we're going.
See, the thing what happens with beef is, you know, because most people start off as groups, you know, and when you start off as a group, you don't get your space to do your individual thing, and that's where the creative differences come into play. I want to sound like this. I want to do that. No, let's do it like this. Let's do that. That's how people start beefing. But what we did, you know, being students of the game, we made sure each individual had their own set base, their own following already, so they won't feel that need of being shunned out the group, you know. So it'll be us coming back around to the group thing, so we won't have that ego trip.
Because it does happen.
Yeah,
you know?
it do.
I mean, that's good that you guys were conscious of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Before. So who do you think right now is the biggest rapper in the game today?
The biggest rapper? You talking about new rap, or you talking about longevity?
I'm talking about the biggest in the game. Like, all cards are on the table.
Kendrick Lamar.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
See? That was a good answer. So you said Tupac influenced you. Anybody else? I mean. Jay-Z, Eminem. Yeah. You worked with Eminem, right? You've done.
No, I haven't worked with him.
You haven't worked
I only
with him.
met him once. Only met him once, and it was real brief.
What do you think the key to his success is? Can you learn something from Eminem?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I guess everybody can learn something from Eminem.
I learned a lot from him. You know, as far as on the music end, the wordplay, And the storytelling is incredible.
Right. What about somebody like a Lil Wayne? What about the South? Do you listen to music? I'm from the South. So I like South, you know, that kind of music. Of course, I listen to everything. Being from the South, we really did accept everything.
Lil Wayne is very influential. Very influential. People forget, you know, Lil Wayne's not no new artist. I've been listening to Lil Wayne since I was in 8th grade.
You're right. He's been around since he was like 14 years old.
Right. And even then, you know, he was the you know, one of the best out the group of the Hot Boys. You know, we was always saying he was dope. So he's very influential, you know.
What about the old school cats like a Bun B or something? Do you know Bun? Do you talk to him?
I met him a couple times. I never really chopped it up to him.
You ever listen to UGK or anything like that?
I can't sit here and lie and say,
yes, I love UGK.
Yeah, like everybody else does. And, you know,
he's like, I'm not gonna be us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that and say, you know.
So it was real West Coast for you. That's what you listen to. Dr. Dre, you listen to Snoop, you listen to DJ Quick. Like that was your.
Quick, definitely.
Definitely.
Quick.
All right, so anything you want to say to your fans? I mean.
Appreciate them, man. I really appreciate them. You know, this album, you know, they wouldn't think, you know, it'll perform the way it did, but you know, it's gold. Swimming Pool's a hit record, #1 record. And it's just showing proof, man. You know, you have that core audience that really believe in you. It really don't matter, you know, about who's pushing you or what's pushing you. The music always speaks. So, all my fans, I appreciate y'all. That's real talk. That's love.
What about the girls? Because these girls coming in here, that's crazy.
The girls. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
You shouldn't have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
You should wait till you're like 40 before you're like Jay.
Right,
you're like Jay. Find you a Beyonce or something.
Right.
You know, don't waste all that time. No, really. I mean, how do you deal with all the girls? I mean, it must be crazy for you and your whole crew.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild.
You gonna tell us any stories?
Any stories? I'm new. I even went on tour only like a couple times. You know,
so
my
nothing crazy's happened yet, really?
My first headline will be in the UK. You know, my first big major tour.
So that's when the girls will really come out.
I think I see more girls.
No panties or nothing being thrown.
I seen some panties being thrown a few times.
Were they big or little?
And a big bra one time. Like some 36. They got F's. Is that possible?
Yes, it is. Yeah, they do.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Okay, so all right, no girlfriend. There you go, ladies, because everybody's like, please ask him. I'm like, tell him he's got a girlfriend.
Right.
All right, so get the album. I mean, you know, the guy's a real deal. I haven't been excited about an artist like this in a minute. I came up here to interview. I'm really excited about your project. My husband's a DJ.
Oh, dope.
He did a mixtape called Leader of the New School, 2 years ago? You were all over it.
Real
I mean,
talk?
yeah, like, you know. I'm like, who is this? He's like, just listen and learn. I'm like, all right, whatever.
That's dope.
So congratulations to you on your success. I hope you come back here.
Yeah, everybody always say that.
Well, I know that because,
They think
you know,
the artists
this
get
is
so
a
big.
medium-sized market. Now, I do Dallas and San Antonio, you know, I got shows there. But the problem is that people don't show the love to out. You know who's smart, though, that comes back here? Rihanna comes back here. Drake comes here. Common comes here. Ice Cube comes here.
Those some big names, so the little names you need to follow that.
Well, you know why they come? Because we really appreciate good music, and we come out and we support the artists.
Man, see y'all supporting me. So.
Rihanna didn't sell out any concerts but in Albuquerque, so remember that. You know, come back here.
Okay, dope. I'll
Nice
do
to
that.
meet you,
Nice to
Kendrick
meet you
Lamar.
too. Appreciate you.
Thank you very much for taking the time.
Yeah, bang.